Hi everyone, how are you doing today? Happy Wednesday. Today, as many of you know, well, who have kids or are teachers, know it's Wacky Wednesday, so it's Dr. Seuss week. So a lot of you probably had fun, dressing up your kids for Wacky Wednesday. So happy Wacky Wednesday to you. Today, our training is about NAID registration training. As you know, in order to sell HUD properties as a broker or agent, you must have an NAID number. Well, your broker must have an NAID number. So that's what this training is all about. I'm going to share my screen with you and we'll get started. Thank you for attending. Bear with me just a minute, everyone. Okay, hopefully you all can see my screen. Again, this is broker registration. Everything you need to know to get your NAID number approved. My name is Nicole. I'm with Cantave Realty Group, and Nick Cantave is the broker in our office, and he is also a HUD listing broker. And this is everything you need to know to get your NAID approved. So let's start off with a warning. Whether your NAID or NAID application is add new, modify, or add new NAID to existing EIN or recertification, it is pertinent that your application and supporting documentation match one another. Failure to complete the application in its entirety or submit the correct and accepted supporting documentation will result in a rejected application, thus delaying your application. And for those of you who want to sell HUD home properties, the quicker you can get your application done, the better. The broker registered with HUD, which is box 2C, has to sign all of the sales contracts. And HUD now allows more than one NAID per brokerage, allowing for additional brokers per company. Blanket authorization letters are no longer allowed. So for your NAID application type, in your box 1A, that's add new, check this box if applying for NAID for the first time. Box 1B is modify, and you would check this box if you already have NAID and have a NAID and are making changes. This includes changing the principal broker. Box 1C, add new NAID to existing EIN. Check this box if you have multiple branches. And box 8, must have the address of the main branch. The bank statement utility bill must match the address in box 1, and each branch will be given its own NAID. Box 1D is a recertification, NAID renewal with no changes to any information. Please complete the following steps for obtaining a NAID number. You need to complete Form 1111 and Form 1111A in its entirety in blue or black ink only. And these links here on the screen, this is where you can apply, where you can get those forms. I'll leave this on the screen for a minute in case you want to write it down. Okay, we ready? On to the next screen. When you're submitting your NAID application, you also are going to be required to submit certain documentation. Both listing and selling broker will use SB payee type. If you are not a selling broker, please refer to the rest of the matrix listed below. So as you can see where we have the red square here, these are the items you're going to need if for a selling broker. So you need your IRS documentation showing your business name, individual name, and tax ID number. Examples include your IRS Form 147C, a tax return with pre-printed label, or an IRS payment coupon. State-issued forms are not acceptable. We also need a copy of your driver's license, a copy of the first page of a recent phone bill, utility bill, or bank statement. This would show your office address. You also need a copy of your state real estate broker's license and the completed Form SAMS 1111A selling broker certification. Okay. This is also on the second page of, I believe it's the 1111, so you can see this checklist there as well. NAID applications require four types of identification. So you need the IRS documentation or social security card, a copy of your broker's ID, such as driver's license, passport, or state ID, a copy of state real estate broker's license, and the copy of the first page of a recent utility bill or bank statement. And this is the Form 1111. This is what you will see when you download it from HUD Home Store. I'll go through this quickly, what each box is. So box 2A, you would enter your EIN number as shown on the IRS document. That is right here. 2B, you would enter your business name as shown on the IRS document, and you have to make sure it matches exactly. Don't enter a DBA here. Box 2C is your principal broker's name as shown on their broker's license. Box 4, that's only for you to enter if you already have a NAID and you're renewing or modifying your registration. Box 5, you would enter in your HOC area identifier. Most of you who are watching this are probably in Massachusetts or Rhode Island, so that would be 3P. And that 3P region covers Connecticut, Massachusetts, Maine, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, Rhode Island, and Vermont. Box 6, you would select your payee type. So for us, that's selling broker, and that would be SB. And let me just show you where that is here. That's right here, box 6. Box 7 is your business phone number. Box 8 is your business address, and make sure that matches the address on your utility bill that you submit with the packet. And box 9, only fill this out if you have a DBA. That's right over here. Box 10, only fill out this box if you want your mail delivered somewhere else. Box 11, 12, and 13, you would check off what applies here. So if you're minority owned. Box 14, enter contact person's name, email address, phone number, and fax number. Box 15 is the owner's name. Box 16, please check mark one box. Where are we here? 16. So that's family external business relationship to HUD. If it's a yes, then you need to, attach an explanation of how you're related to this person and what their position is. Let's see. Oops, sorry. Hold on one second. Let me pull that back open again. Box 17, it must be an original signature but does not need to be the broker. In box 18, 19, and 20, you would enter their title, date, and phone number. Okay, and this we all went over. Your remittance name and address. This is section 14. The information supplied on the section of this 1111 is going to display on hudhomestore.com. So whatever you fill on box 14 here, that's what's going to show up on hudhomestore.com for your agent info. If you do have licenses in multiple states, you are able to list each license on your profile in HUD Home Store. You are only able to link your state license to one NAID, but agents can be linked to multiple NAIDs for each state issued license that they have. Okay. This email address here is for BLB resources. You can email them if you need help with your NAID registration application, renewal, everything. So on the Form 1111A, you would sign in those two places where it's showing a signature. That's where your broker signs, actually. If you're not the broker, your broker would sign here, unless they're checking the box below. If checking the box below, write in the local board. And then you would fill in the broker's name, license number, telephone number, tax ID number, and make sure it's the same that you used on the 1111, your company's name and mailing address. And this document needs to be the original. They do not accept copies, so make sure you have original signatures on all the forms, not electronic signatures. And here's an example of the 147C form from the IRS. It's pretty simple to get a copy from the IRS. They actually usually will just fax it to you. What you can do is you can call them. It's 1-800-829-0115, and they'll give you a copy of your 147C. And like I said previously in the webinar, they also will accept the letter SS4, a tax coupon, or a pre-printed address label from the IRS. Anything that has your tax ID, your employer identification number. And here's an example of your social security card. This is only if you're registering, your broker's registering with a social security number. Most brokers do register with their company tax ID though. And it must include a copy of the broker's ID with the NAID application. Here's a sample of your broker's license. The broker's license must state that it is a broker's license. No other license will be accepted. The name on the broker's license must match the name that is listed on the driver's license, the name in box 2C or 3B, the social security card if supplied, and ensure the broker's license is not expired or expiring within 60 days of submission. And here's a sample phone bill. So we can see you have your name and address, and like we said, just make sure that the address on your utility bill or bank statement matches the address on your application. And BLB Resources is proud to offer initial review of NAID packages for BLB brokers. So you would email your NAID package to naidhelp@blbresources.com for review. They will review and advise you of corrections needed in order to avoid rejections or delays. Once your package has been submitted, you will need to check hudhomestore.com for status. It takes approximately 2 weeks for processing, and new payees take longer. So you can check on hudhomestore.com. You would click NAID application and then click check current NAID status. And then you would enter in your EIN or tax ID or social security from your application, whichever you use to apply. Once your NAID is awarded, modified, or recertified, please make sure that all brokers using this NAID know they must register on HUD Home Store. Each person should have their own personal login. Do not use someone else's. Information regarding HUD Home Store registration is provided in the Selling Broker Handbook on the BLB Resources website. To ensure there is no question regarding anything in your package, fill out the entire application, even if you are only recertifying. Do not leave anything blank, no matter what the instructions say. If you are only modifying, check the recertification box, which is 1D, as this will extend your NAID for the length of 1 year. Make sure that the 1111 and 1111A have original signatures. Signature stamps are not accepted, so no e-signatures. If you are a signatory to a voluntary affirmative marketing agreement between HUD and the local board, check the box listed below the signature and indicate the board name. The more recent the utility bill or bank statement, the better. For example, if it is October, submit a September statement or bill. And thank you so much for attending. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to us. Our email is Cantave Realty Group at live.com. It's Cantave Realty, which is Realty Group, Group at live.com. We look forward to hearing from you. Have a great afternoon.